What's up, guys? Alec here. Hope you're having a great day. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Today I wanted to go over and speak about the three main business models that go into Amazon selling. And the three types of models that I'm going to speak about are retail arbitrage, wholesale, and private label on Amazon. So there are definitely, these three models have some pros and cons to them and some negatives and positives. And based on what you are looking to get into and what best fits you, I think there's one for everybody. So I'm going to explain each one of them in detail and help you guys make a decision on what you want to get into. If you're watching this video, you're probably not sure which one you want to get into, so I'm going to help clarify that up. So hopefully you guys, after you watch this video, if you watch it all the way through, I'm going to give you my experiences and also my best advice on what I think is the best business model to start when selling through Amazon. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, so let's get started. So I made a PDF for you guys with all the pros and cons and the main things to know about each Amazon business model. So the first one that I'm going to go over is retail arbitrage. So if you're not familiar with retail arbitrage, what retail arbitrage basically is you're going into big box stores and stores like Target and these other stores, or like closeouts or like Dollar Tree or these discount stores. You're going in there and you're finding products, and then you're looking to see how much you could buy them and sell them for on, let's say, eBay, Amazon, and sites like that. So you either have like the Amazon or eBay app opened up, you find a product in there, you go down the aisles and you look, and if you find something interesting, you take out your phone and you either scan the barcode or you search it and you see if it's sold, how much you could sell it for, and if there's even a profit to be made. So the main pros and cons of this, the pro is it's inexpensive and it really doesn't require much at all to start this. So it's inexpensive in the means that you could start with a very low startup capital. There's really not much to start. You go into these stores and you just buy a bulk of stuff. You go home and you spend all night and you list all the products. You flip them and you make some money off of it. So it's inexpensive, easy to start, and you're basically flipping closeout products for a little bit higher price so that you have some margin in there and some profit. So there's a good amount of people who I know who are really good at this and who have taken this onto a bigger level. So from my point of view, retail arbitrage, I don't really consider this a business because you're really just going into stores and you're flipping other products, and it can be all right for kind of getting your feet wet and starting out. I really don't see this as a long-term business or something that you could really do scalably, and it's not something that I recommend. But because it's time consuming and you have to go from store to store, you have to drive around all day and find these products, and you might not find as many as you would have expected. So I mean, in my perspective for this business model, retail arbitrage, I don't really like this at all. It's not something that you can create a real business off of, and it's not scalable. But some people do this, and they kind of mastered this whole retail arbitrage game. And I wouldn't really advise you guys to do this. But if you're watching my channel and you're 8, 9, 10 years old, by all means, go and get your feet wet with this. Go to stores and kind of just learn the ropes and learn the game and just list stuff. And I think it can be a good learning experience, but not something to build a real business out of. So the next business model I'm going to speak about is wholesale. Now, wholesale is something that I've been doing for quite a while now. I've started out with wholesale back in 2011, and it's 2018, so I've been doing it for about 7, 8 years now. And this business model is something that I think is much better than retail arbitrage. Wholesale is, you're basically buying big brand name items in bulk in 50 to 100 at a time or more, 200, 300, and you're taking them and you're sending them into Amazon and they're shipping them for you. So some of the positives are you could have a large amount of SKUs. You could scale this as big as you want, and there's no restriction to how many products you could you could find. So you could do all this research up front, and you could get 50 to 100 good products that sell at a profit. So you contact these big name brand suppliers and you open up accounts with them, um, and you're basically a brand that's selling their products. So like Colgate and these big name brands, suppliers and sellers that sell globally around the world, and you're selling their products on Amazon.com. Like I said, a few of the main benefits of this is it's you're selling big brand items in bulk. You could do a lot more, and it's a lot more scalable, and you can move quicker with this, and you could have a large amount of SKUs. So you could have 100 or you could have 1,000 SKUs in your account, and once you build that wheel of inventory, the way wholesale really you could benefit from it is you build a wheel of inventory and you send it all to Amazon, and they're usually high converting, quickly selling products. You want to have products that sell out within 30 to 90 days. You don't want more than that sitting in Amazon, because then you start to get over fees and overage charges for that. So you want to have products that move quick and that you can make a profit from. So when done right, this could be an incredible business model. Like I said, I do this and I've done it for many years and I still do. So truly amazing, and I've made multiple six figures from this, and over the last few years into the seven figures with this combined. So I think it's a truly great business model. Some of the negatives of wholesale are you need to be able to open up uh, accounts with these big name suppliers, and sometimes it's a little difficult to do that. You have to position yourself as a viable brand and a reseller, and you have to be able to build somewhat of relationships with these suppliers. And more times than not, you need to negotiate discounts with these suppliers, because the prices that they're going to give you on spreadsheets and on their websites, look at it and you go through Amazon, you're going to find more times than not there are a lot of bad products to sell on Amazon. There are price wars with this, and a lot of sellers really, once an item gets popular, a lot of people come in and drive the price down so low where you are making $1 or no profit at all. And it's crazy to see, because I've seen this over and over and over. When an item does become popular, the price is driven down, and then people are selling at break even or under that, and kind of losing their profit and not making money at all. So you really have to be careful with this. You have to have a great strategy in place, and you have to know how to analyze and move quickly when it comes to wholesale. And if an item becomes bad, you have to kind of keep it on your radar, but move on and move on to the next product. But if you build up that wheel of inventory, 50, 100, 500, 1,000 SKUs, you could be doing pretty well per month for yourself, and it could be a multiple six-figure business. 110%, it can be done. It is harder to find profitable products. You have to search. Negative, you have to search hours and hours to go through your supplier lists, and out of 10,000 SKUs that a supplier may have, you may only find 30 or 40 good SKUs that you could actually turn a profit from. And what do I mean by that? I mean Amazon's not selling it, because once Amazon sells a product, it becomes something you really don't want to mess with, because once they sell the product, they own the buy box. And once Amazon sells something, they make it hard for other sellers to get the buy box and make sales. So you don't want to really mess around with products that Amazon sells. You want to find good sales ranks and history that basically that show how well a product is moving, and you want to sell those types of items. You want to make sure you have a margin and a few dollars profit in there. And to find those products, you need to search through these catalogs and lists, and you may have 10 different suppliers that you have to keep filtering through lists of products for. But at the end of the day, it's a great business model, and if you're interested, it's a great business model. But one other negative is you need a workspace. You need to take in the inventory from your suppliers, and you need to, most often than not, you need to repackage items. You need to relabel items. You need to put them in their own poly bags if they're not, and things needed to be bundled together. And then you need to sticker and label everything and prep it for Amazon and then get it ready. So you definitely need a workspace. You need to maybe hire some employees or some people to work, because it's kind of hard to do wholesale alone. You need a few people or a team to manage these boxes and shipments and get things prepared for Amazon. So you definitely would need 2 or 3 people to help you. You need some upfront capital. I would say to start wholesale, you need $5,000 to $10,000 to start. It is a little more capital intensive. You need to place these larger orders with these wholesale suppliers. So yeah, about $5,000 to $10,000 to start, and that's basically the wholesale business model. It's a great business model if you're interested. So take these things into consideration if you're planning on getting into wholesale. So now I'll get into the last business model that I'm going to speak about, and the one that I think is the most viable, and the one that I think is the most accessible for everybody in the world today, and that's private label. Now, I come from a wholesale background. Why am I kind of talking about private label so much? It's because after being in wholesale for so long, it's very viable, and I would not put down wholesale for anything because I still do it. But over the last 2 years, I've been building out some private label brands from what I've learned, and I'm sharing my experiences with you on this channel. If you're new here and you're just watching these videos, I have tons and tons of videos on my channel, so check that out about private label and starting a private label business, and that's pretty much all I talk about. So check out those videos, and I go into detail into product research, how to find 40, 50, $60,000 per month products on Amazon month after month, and how to build out a product line and a brand. So check those out if you're new to this channel. So private label, what are some pros? What are some cons? So basically what private label is you're building an actual scalable, sellable brand. This is basically an asset that could be eventually sold once you build it up, and you have an asset, and you have products and supply chains in place. So what you're doing is you're finding hot selling products, and you're coming up with your own product and putting a slight spin on it, and bring it out into your own brand. So let's just speak about it this way. If you're selling camping products, you're selling in the outdoors niche. So another thing is the margins in private label are much bigger. So typically with wholesale, your margins are 20 to 30%, and in private label, your margins could be 40 to 50, even sometimes 60%. So you're getting a lot more value out of your investment and your money. So there are less price wars with private label. You're basically building your own listing and your own brand, and no one can really mess with that. If you go on Amazon and you see that there's one seller selling it, you know that's a private label seller, because there are not multiple sellers selling under the same listing. So what happens with wholesale? There are multiple sellers selling under the same listing, and it's basically a price war. Whoever has the lowest price wins. So that just fosters lower prices, and then that in turn is lower profits and lower prices. And then in the end, you're making less money. So with private label, you can control that. You have full control over your price. So if you set something at $17.99, you could control it. There's no one who's going to come in and race you to the bottom. So like I said, with a private label business and a brand, it could be sold for multiple 6 and 7 figures within a year or two. Once you have built it up, and you have the equity, and you have a product line, and all your systems in place, it could actually be sold. And people do this all the time and walk away with big paydays and big paychecks for selling their brand. So that's another thing that people love about private label. The next thing is it's less physical work. So you're not physically going up, picking boxes up. You don't need a warehouse space, and you don't need to open up boxes. You don't need to label, sticker, or anything to that effect. You have your suppliers in China. Usually we use sites like Alibaba, and we go on there and we communicate with them, negotiate prices and everything. I speak about all that on my channel, so check that out. How to negotiate, how to find the best suppliers, and you negotiate with them, and they do everything overseas in China. They sticker, label it, put your brand names on it, your logos, everything. So once they're done, they send that directly from China to an Amazon FBA warehouse, where once you get an order, it's fulfilled by Amazon. You don't have to touch anything. It's hands off. So all you have to worry about as an Amazon seller and having an Amazon brand are finding products, building listings, optimizing them. You need to know about keywords and research, and you have to know a little more in depth about how to create the perfect listings and the fully optimized listing that will rank the best for all your main keywords. And you should know about PPC, that's Amazon pay per click, and different methods of advertising and marketing. It's also good to build an outside audience. So let's say like Facebook, you collect people there, and so you're building outside brand assets. So if you go to sell it one day, you have different assets and an audience that can go with that brand. Another thing is all you need is a laptop. There are no restrictions to private label. That's why I love this business model so much, is because I want to show everybody that no matter where you are in the world, you could be an Amazon seller and you could build a brand. You do not need a warehouse. You do not need to be stuck in one location. That's why this business model is kind of almost like the laptop lifestyle. You could travel around with a laptop and you could do all your work from one laptop. You don't need to be in one and locked down to one specific location. So all your work is done on laptops, and you contact suppliers, you do your listings, everything is done from Seller Central in your Amazon account. Another thing is you need to have good communication with suppliers. You have to know which suppliers are the best, and I speak about all that on my channel. Check that out. And you have to be able to negotiate good deals with these suppliers to get the best prices. Most of the time, you can make $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 profit from one unit, and if you could sell 1,000 per month, you could easily be making $6, $7, $8,000 profit per month off one product. So the magic in that is if you have 5 or 6 products, you can only imagine you could be making profit $50, $60, $70,000 a month. And if you're just watching these videos for the first time, you might think that's absolutely insane, but it's done every single day, and it is 100% feasible. It takes a little time to learn and figure out, but that's why I'm sharing everything. I have a business model like this, and as I go through my business and learn new things, I'm sharing them with you on this channel so you guys can benefit the most and grow your businesses and eventually get to your goals and quit that 9 to 5 that you hate, quit that job and have freedom to do whatever you want on your own time and really live the lifestyle that you've always wanted. And with private label, you could do that. There's no restrictions. There's nothing that's holding you down. So one thing that I like about this is you're building a brand. Something that Amazon favors in the future are brands. They actually want to stick up for brands and companies that stand for something. So if you're selling in the outdoors niche, you could have a raving audience and fan base behind you with 5 to 6 products that have to do with the outdoor and camping realm. And in my opinion, this is the best business model because you actually have a face behind your brand and you stand for something. You're not just selling random products all over the internet. You could have outside traffic and audiences like Instagram pages, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, things like that, where you could foster relationships with your customers. So one negative about private label is product research, and product research could take hours to weeks. But once you're past the product research phase, you're kind of off and selling. You create your listing, and in the beginning, it might be a little, it might take a little time to get products up and going. But once that listing is going, all you need to do is contact your supplier and send your inventory and just reorder. And that's all you have to do. So once a listing is up, there's not much to do. There's just a little maintenance here and there. You build your catalog one product after the next, and after 5 to 6 products, you could be up to $20,000 to $30,000 profit per month off a few products easily. So that's what I love about private label so much. You might have a few failed products. It might take a little bit learning and getting used to. But again, that's why I created this channel. I wanted to help people start their businesses and share my experiences and help them learn from my mistakes, because I made a ton of mistakes up front in the beginning, ones that cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. And I hope that you guys do not make the same mistakes that I did. That's why I share my experiences on this channel, and check out some of my other videos. I share what not to do and things to completely avoid when starting private label. So another thing is you have to be good at marketing and listings, and you have to have great photos for your products. These are all things that I speak about on my channel, and things that go into creating a successful private label brand. So Amazon, like I said, favors brands. In the future, this is what they rally behind brands. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I wanted to make a comprehensive video of everything from retail arbitrage, wholesale, and private label. Share my experiences with the business models I have gotten into and the pros and cons of both of them and what I think is the best. So if you stayed this far, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I don't take your time for granted. I made this channel to help you guys. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. And leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.